You all probably have a lot of questions about Part 2 of Episode 70, and I'm also sure that you will be interested in what will happen in Part 3 of Episode 70. And I want to say that I noticed something very important that no one noticed in Part 2 of Episode 70, and Boom gave us a huge hint about him and about the new race. And I wanted to add this to my analysis of Part 2, but the video would have turned out too long, so in this video we will talk in detail about the plot of Part 3 of Episode 70. And I will also tell you about some details that I did not add in my analysis. The details will be crazy, and you definitely haven't seen them in the analyses of other YouTubers. So get ready! And also don't forget to join my Discord server, because news about the Skibidi toilet comes out there faster than anyone else. Hello friends, you're on the channel. Subscribe to the channel and press the like button under the video to speed up the release of the next video. And let's go. And many of my subscribers wrote what I would say about this window or protective lens. And it really looks like a protective lens, and most likely it is a Titan cameraman protective lens since it is very large. But where do toilets get this lens from? And here there's only one option. And in Part 2 of Episode 67, the fake Skibidi scientist took off the cameraman's lens. But it is very strange that he could not take it with him to the laboratory since that body was destroyed, and the Skibidi scientist himself ran away without the lens to the laboratory. And this lens could not have gotten into this laboratory. But the same can be said for this new jetpack and headphones, which only appeared in Episode 69 and strangely ended up in this laboratory. And there is only one explanation for this. There is a traitor among the agents. And it is possible that this is one of the cameraman scientists, whom we saw in Episode 49 in the cameraman laboratory, or it is one of the TV men. So it is their books that we see in this warehouse. And in my analysis, I said that the traitor has access to the cameraman laboratory and the TV men laboratory. And most likely it is the TV man who is the traitor, because the cameramen don't know where the TV man laboratory is and they won't be able to get there. And I already said that this could even be a TV woman since she has access to the TV men's laboratory. And also in Episode 49, we saw that she also has access to the cameramen's laboratory. Of course, you will be angry with me that I suspect her, but from the point of view of logic, she can be suspected. But in fact, any agent could turn out to be a traitor. And it is even possible that it is the lucky cameraman who supposedly died at the end of the episode. But I have already said that I am sure that he is alive. And there is a chance that he deliberately deceived the agents and pretended to be dead, because he received just a scratch in that battle, and the agents were more seriously wounded and they continued to fight with the enemies. And for example, when the plunger cameraman fought with the Skibidi scientist, he took on a powerful laser beam from a scientist and then he fell from a great height. And he feels great, just as a large speaker man with a knife in his chest and without a hand fought the enemy perfectly. And the lucky guy only got a scratch. So I think he's alive and just pretending. And although he's collaborating with Dafuk Boom, he could turn out to be a traitor, or he had an additional mission that other agents don't know about. And his mission was to carry out the detachment to the Skibidi scientist, whom we will see in the next episode. But there was another mission that we do not know about, and the agents also do not know about it. And after everyone thought that he had died, he got up and headed in the other direction. So as I already noted, he moves around this laboratory very suspiciously. And it seems to me that he knows where to go and what will be waiting for them next. And you didn't forget about the description of Part 2 of Episode 68? Not everyone is on your side, and we still didn't find out who the traitor is. But now we will definitely know that he is, since we see here the newest agent technologies. And it is important to note that agents are not use this equipment in battle, and it will turn out that the traitor provided the scientist with early access to cameraman technology. And perhaps this traitor was precisely the cameraman in the red shirt, since in this photo we see him and the inscription, "Not everyone is on your side," and it's not clear where did he come from inside this laboratory. And we can assume that Boom teleported him there, but in fact Boom disappeared somewhere and the cameraman was left alone. And it is not clear where he was before. This is all so confusing that I'm shocked by it. But in any case, we won't be able to find out until the new episode comes out. And let's move on to some very valuable and important information related to Boom. And we can notice a very important detail when we see a photo with scientists and Dafuk himself, and pay attention to these two computers that are on the table. And don't you think it's strange what these computers are doing here? I've already said many times that perhaps we'll see soon a new race, and probably it will be Computer Man. And already in this episode, Boom gave us such a big clue. Back in Part 2 of Episode 68, it seems strange to me that Boom took control of Plunger Cameraman and forced him to look down, and that's where we saw the green light. And so there were the same computers. And I believe that the computer men will have a green light because each race has its own special light. The TV men have purple light. The cameramen have blue light, speaker men have a red light, and toilets have a yellow light. And we were convinced of this when we saw an infected speaker man, and then its core glowed with a yellow light. And I think that the computer men will have exactly a green light. And I have a very crazy theory. And it is possible that Dafuk Boom is actually not a human but a robot, namely a computer man. I understand that this all sounds very crazy, but perhaps he disguised himself as a person in order to contact the government and take control of this laboratory. And perhaps he initially knew about experiments that were carried out here, and he wanted to stop it personally. And he also knew about astrotoilets and that they would soon come to Earth, since I am sure that they are a different race, and they are just similar to the skibidi toilets that we are used to seeing. But everything got out of control, and now he is helping the agents stop it all. And Defuk left us a hint in the form of 2 computers on the table, which may possibly indicate a new race of computer men, or that he himself belongs to this race. And also, this photo was taken a very long time ago, but Boom himself has not aged since that moment. And this may mean that in fact he is a robot, and can live for a very long time. But these are just theories, and we don't know what year it is in the series. And perhaps only a few years have passed since this photo was taken. And because of this, Defuk has not changed. I understand that I'm talking some kind of nonsense, but here's another theory. We don't know who created cameramen, speakermen, and TV men. If we assume that Defuk knew that skibidi toilets were created in this laboratory, then he specifically came to this laboratory to destroy this infection, and also make an army to fight with astro toilets. But the skibidi scientist who was the first skibidi toilet was able to leave there. And then he began to create skibidi toilets. And Boom told the government about this, and he and the government began to create agents in this laboratory, like cameramen, speakermen, and TV men. But then, the skibidi toilets captured this laboratory. And now Boom is helping the agents clear this laboratory and kill the skibidi scientist, since he is the one who creates all these toilets. Everything sounds fantastic, but it seems to me that Boom is not an ordinary human, and he is hiding something from us. But for now, we will not be able to find out anything until several episodes are released. But what will happen in the new episode? And when it will be released? At the end last episode, we saw how the plunger cameraman and the dark assassin continued their path through the laboratory, and I am 100% sure that there we will see the skibidi scientist. Because when I received the exclusive leaks, Boom told me that there would be 3 parts of episode 70, and before the release episode 70, we received the cover for episode 70. And I told you that this is not a leaked frame, and this is exactly the cover for episode 70, and it means that the entire 70 episode will revolve around the skibidi scientist. And also in the description under part 2, Mr. Defuk wrote, "The squad gets closer to the scientist, and this all means that we will 100% see the skibidi scientist in the new episode." Also, don't forget about Gmail, which is possible to prepare for the battle with Titans. It is possible that even this battle will not end in episode 70, or it will not happen at all, and we will be shown what happens to the agents and skibidi scientists. But in any case, I think that one of the special agents will die, and it will be a plunger cameraman or a dark assassin. Since in part 4 of episode 67 there were 12 agents, and in a short time there were 2 of them left, and in the last part only 1 will remain, or 2 will die. Also, do not forget about the lucky one who definitely survived and is hiding something from us. And also don't forget about Simp Cameraman, which everyone is waiting for. And I really hope that we will see him in this laboratory and he will be on the side of the toilets. But perhaps we will see him in future episodes, but his return will be legendary and I'm sure of it. But when will the new episode come out? The last part will be the most important, and we should expect that the new episode will turn out to be very long, and it will be released later than usual. And on February 7th, the series Skibidi Toilet will have a birthday, and the series will turn exactly 1 year old. And I am sure that the new episode will be released exactly on February 7th. But before February 7th is still far away, and I'm sure that Boom will greatly surprise us. And in part 3, there will be a lot of action, and this episode will be very long. And I think that he will share exclusive leaks with some YouTubers, as it happened with me and the Elite Cameraman. And there will also be leaks in his store, and in general there will be a lot of leaked frames, and there will also be a lot of fake leaks. But on my channel, you will always get true information, and it will come out faster than other YouTubers. So be sure that you subscribe to the channel and turned on all notifications so as not to miss the leaks. And if you liked the video, then be sure that you press the like button. And you were on the channel, and see you.